Tyrande versus Jaina.
You asked for it. You will give me strength.
In my opening hand, I probably just want like Doomsayer, Shadow Word Pain. Maybe like Auchenai Circle I would keep. Priest of the Feast is probably a good card in the opener. Wonder if I'm allowed to play Priest of the Feast on turn 4, or if I need to try to save it for like some big burst heal. I think it'll be more important to just have something on the board fighting his dudes. Looks like he might be Freeze Mage though. My deck has a lot of healing. I might be able to beat Freeze Mage.
Let the pain speak to me.
I wonder if I coin out Shadow Word Horror here, just to deny card draw. The Shadow Word Horror is also pretty good against Doomsayer, but I'm not sure how much I actually care about Doomsayer in this matchup. I could also just coin out Priest of the Feast to deal with that guy. Or I could just do nothing and play one of them next turn, hold the coin, maybe for a cheap heal out of the Priest of the Feast. Let's try holding the coin. My deck might have enough healing that it just doesn't matter if he draws his whole deck. Freeze Mage does have a lot of burn nowadays though. Okay, well he's not Freeze Mage, so didn't even matter. It's a pretty good one to hit. So there are a few options here. I could go for Pyro, Shadow Word Pain, kill the Acolyte and the Thaurissan, or I guess I could kill the Barnes and the Thaurissan, but I don't want to give that Acolyte free draws. I could just drop the Shadow Word Horror here. It's not very good in this matchup. I guess my only plays are Shadow Word Horror or Wild Pyromancer, and the Pyro plays seem bad, so let's just go for the Shadow Word Horror. So several plays here. I could go Auchenai Flash Heal to kill Barnes. I could just Shadow Word Pain Barnes. Or I could go Priest of the Feast, coin Shadow Word Pain. That would heal me up to 30. I don't think I like the Auchenai Flash Heal because if he kills the Auchenai, I have 2 Circle of Healing stranded in my hand. Priest of the Feast, coin Shadow Word Pain heals me up to 30 and leaves me with a decent threat on the board that he might have to send burn into. I think I like that. It does burn my coin, which is pretty good for Wild Pyromancer. But if I'm killing a thing and healing for 5, I think that's okay. Plus I'm getting to the point where I have just like enough mana for most Pyro plays.
Let's make magic.
One last fight.
So again, I'm not real crazy about playing the Auchenai here, leaving all the circles stranded in my hand, but I don't really have another play. Am I okay with just Hero Power passing? Yeah, I think I'm probably fine with it. I guess I should Auchenai Circle here. I could also go Auchenai Hero Power Flash Heal, but I think having the Flash Heal for healing my face is probably going to be better. And I have 2 circles in the hand anyway. The question is, do I use the Power Word Shield on my Auchenai? I probably do. I'm not low enough that I like desperately need to heal next turn, and if I actually become that desperate, I can just circle down my own Auchenai if I have to. I am going to use my Hero Power to heal myself, rather than damage him with Auchenai though. This would have been a really nice card to just have in hand this turn. Alright, the Auchenai drew some burn, but now he has 2 Roaring Torches in his deck. Alright, well, Elise is the thing I can play here, so I guess I play it. I don't think I'll be playing the Golden Monkey this game. Unless I happen to just draw it, like, next turn. I'm actually so scared right now. How does a Tempo Mage have no play on 9 mana with 5 cards in hand? Is he stockpiling stuff for Antonidas? Like, he would have played Firelands Portal there. I guess Flame Strikes could be in his hand. Maybe he just has some, like, one-off Sorcerer's Apprentice, maybe like an Arcane Blast. Just some awkward burn he doesn't feel is worth using on the Elise.
Get back.
But I'm okay with just passing turns. My hero power outpaces his.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
It was probably a pretty good call of him to hero power my face there, because I'm likely to send Elise into the Babbling Book and then heal her up. I could try to save the map for Pyro Synergy, but I'm just going to put the Golden Monkey in my deck. So I have 9 cards in my hand. I don't need to play anything here, which is good because I don't have anything worth playing. At 26, I feel safe enough to heal up my minion instead of my face. I'm actually getting pretty scared. Like, how do you just have no play with 7 cards in hand? I guess I'm just gonna burn a Holy Nova here. I have plenty of other board clears in my hand. Holy Nova's not that good against Tempo Mage anyway. Do I chance hitting this into Vaporize? I think the only information I have is not Effigy and not Counterspell. I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna see if I can outlast him.
Let the pain speak to me.
Someday I'll be just like you.
He's holding 7 cards. I could probably overdraw him for like maybe even 2 cards with Pyro here. Actually, maybe not. I don't have that many cheap spells. But even if I can overdraw him, it's probably just not really worth the effort. I could play a Holy Nova here. Kills both of his dudes. I could go Cleric, bump in, and then Holy Nova. Effectively use the Holy Nova to kill a 3-2 and draw a card. Well, I guess I could just draw with my hero power anyway, so it's basically just to kill the 3-2. But like I said, Holy Nova's not very good in this matchup. Maybe that's worth it. The Northshire Cleric does put me closer to Fatigue, but I'm not sure if that really matters.
Get back.
Is someone injured?
See if it's Mirror Entity.
Get back.
I also like getting the Northshire Cleric on the board because it's good for testing his secret, which is looking more and more like it could be a Vaporize. So the question here is Shadow or Death or Entomb, and I think I'm just going to play the Entomb. Just because it costs more mana, and I have 10 free mana this turn, basically. If I draw into, like, Baron Geddon or something, and he has small minions plus an Antonidas on the board or something, leaves me the flexibility of going Shadow or Death plus Baron Geddon in the same turn. Although I do have 2 Shadow or Deaths and only 1 Entomb. But this has to be one of the best Entomb targets in his deck. I'm also probably going to play Power Word Shield this turn. I guess I haven't tested for Spellbender, maybe I should play Death to test for that.
Right away.
Let's see if this is something that procs. Okay, it was just Ice Barrier. So I don't need to worry about Spellbender, so I'll just play Entomb here. And then after playing the Entomb, I'm going to play Power Word Shield, because I actually wouldn't mind drawing into the Thaurissan. So if he tries to burn me out, I have Priest of the Feast, Flash Heal, Circle of Healing, Hero Power. Or what is that, like 13 points of Burst Heal? There might even be a Shadow or Death target on the board that turn. That's what I like to see. point that burn at my minions. So I've seen both fireballs. He still has 2 frostbolts, 2 roaring torches. That's only 18. I think I can afford to just play out the Priest of the Feast here. Like, it would be nice to hold it for the healing, but I have 10 cards in hand, so I have to do something. I guess maybe I should just, like, thrown away the Pyromancer, now that I think about it. Pyro doesn't really hit much in this matchup. But Pyro is a lot easier to kill with something like Flamewaker. But anyway, he's used 2 of his fireballs, so maybe just the flash heals are enough healing. Alright, so now he's down a torch. So I have an Excavated Evil clear here. There's probably some way I could draw a bunch of cards with Pyro, but I don't really have the hand space to do that. I could Auchenai Circle. I think I'm just going to go for the Excavated Evil clear here. It does put a card in his deck, which is unfortunate since this seems like it might go to Fatigue. But I'm ahead in Fatigue anyway, I still have an Entomb in the deck.
The shadows beckon.
This 4 power minion is a little bit annoying to deal with. I could Auchenai Circle it. I could Auchenai Flash Heal it. I think I do want to kill it. I don't really want to let him just whack me for 4. I guess I'm just going to Auchenai Flash Heal it. I'm not in love with using my Flash Heal there, but I do still have an Embrace the Shadow in the deck to use this circle later in the game. Alright, he gave me my board clear back. Happy to see that. So I think the burn left in his deck is 1 Frostbolt, 1 Roaring Torch, and like maybe another Firelance Portal, and probably Antonidas. So the question is, do I just play out Baron Geddon here? Or do I just even play out Doomsayer here just to buy a turn? Unfortunately, if I play out the Doomsayer, I don't have any particular follow-up for it, but I only have 8 cards in the deck. Justicar, Emperor, and Golden Monkey would all be nice follow-ups to the Doomsayer. That's less than 50% though. If I just play out the Baron Geddon here, probably draws some form of removal, I would imagine.
I wonder.
And the 2 damage AoE is not particularly good in this matchup. I'm actually a little scared to play the Geddon at some points in this matchup because it damages me. So if I can just play it here where it's likely to get in 7 damage if he doesn't have an answer, so I can just kind of force him to have an answer, I think this is a pretty good spot to play it. Especially since it might be his last Roaring Torch, or I might force out some minions for an Arcane Blast combo or something. Or hey, I get a Flame Strike, that's fine too. Just slam down the Thaurissan here. None of these cards are like particularly good to have discounted, but it's still just a hand of 8 cards that get discounted. Plus I force him to have more removal.
Let's make magic.
Alright, that's the last Frostbolt. Is he just not playing Arcane Blast? Because Arcane Blast would have been way better there. I'm just gonna pass the turn. I don't really want to spend an Excavated on just that. I have enough health and I'm okay leaving it up. Alright, here we go. That's what he's apparently been waiting for. He's been holding these cards on the left of his hand for a really long time.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So I think he played 2 missiles, 2 images. I think he has 4 fireballs in his hand still. This actually seems bad for me. I'm actually just going to die to fireballs over the next couple turns. Well, I guess this is what happens when you can't apply pressure I guess I just play this guy out to slow down minion damage. Even if I draw just a card next turn, he has exact lethal. Plus he still has a Roaring Torch left in his deck. Pretty sure he still has 4 fireballs. What a disappointing game. Just a card in the bottom 4 cards.
Randa versus Garrosh. Victory on death.
Alone give me strength.
I'm gonna send back the Power Word Shield, but I think I'm gonna keep the rest of these cards, assuming it's Pirate Warrior. And if it is Control Warrior, I don't think I really need a specific mulligan. Well, Aggressive Warrior confirmed. Could still be Dragon, could still be Pirate.
My blade be thirsty.
I think I'm actually just gonna coin out the Auchenai here. I could just Shadow Word Pain the Frothing Berserker. I think it's just important to stop as much damage as possible. And Auchenai Circle for 2 minions is pretty strong, when one of them's a Frothing Berserker and the other one is immune to my spells. So I don't believe Pirate Warrior ever plays Ravaging Ghoul, so we're probably narrowed down to either Tempo or Dragon Warrior. I can play Priest of the Feast here. Maybe these guys go into it. He probably can't really just ignore it. But if he sends these 2 guys into my Priest of the Feast, it makes my Holy Nova a lot worse next turn. So do I try to go green mode? If I try to go green mode, there are things that can punish me, but I think I'm going to try to go green mode.
For the War Chief.
Corkron Elite is a bit of a punish. But let's go ahead and play the Holy Nova. He played really hard into Excavated Evil there. Okay, so it is a Dragon Warrior. That's what I was leaning toward with the Fairy Dragon and the Ravaging Ghoul. So Priest of the Feast, Shadow Word Pain is pretty good here. Removes this guy, heals me for 3, contests the Corkron pretty well. Hopefully he doesn't have Bookworm. The deck seems like it might be a little bit aggressive for a Bookworm, but apparently not. Let's go ahead and Power Word Shield the Cleric. I really need to draw into some more flexible cards. Not quite desperate enough to heal his minion to get the draw off Cleric. I think turn 4 has been the most important turn in this game so far. Might be the turn that costs me. The Bookworm is not a fantastic Entomb target, but I don't really want to take 7 damage, and this clear is pretty good. I didn't have another elegant way to proc the Pyro there, so not entombing the Bookworm probably meant leaving up the Corkron Elite as well. Execute on the Pyro. Well, that's a really good draw. That was probably too aggressive of a Blood to Ichor there. Like, obviously you're probably not playing around Baron Geddon and Priest, but I still have 2 Excavated Evils and a Holy Nova. Well, this isn't good for me. That's a sick draw.
I wield the power of black.
Come on, Akanai. Oh my god, the top decks. Unfortunately, I do have to use my hero power on his minion instead of my face, but still a very good clear. Well, that's bad. Had to play one flash heal there because I was dead to 1 damage. Am I willing to hold this one? 6 damage doesn't seem very likely here. And it might be good with Wild Pyro or Priest of the Feast, or even Embrace later on. So I need to draw Shadow or Death next turn. Looks like the top deck train has ended. I'm actually not dead. Question is, which board clear do I play? Excavated Evil gives him potential dead draws, but Shadow Word Horror sucks. Let's go for Shadow Word Horror. Hit a minion with it while I can. The odds of giving him a dead draw with Excavated weren't that high.